Our Wendy's Female Athlete of the Week. She is not just one of the best volleyball players in the city of Topeka, but one of the best in the entire state. Brooklyn DeLeye from Washburn Rural. The Junior Blues are top 5 in Class 6A once again in the KVA rankings. And Brooklyn, let's start with your season. Last year, you were an all-state pick. This year, you're off to a great start once again. What has been working so well for you this year?
I just think that knowing my teammates and knowing that they have my back, because it is a team sport, not an individual one. So I think that that really helps me as a player and a person, is having some of my best friends alongside with me.
I mentioned that last year you were an all-city, all-league, all-state pick, and now you're off to another great year so far this year. What has been the biggest thing you have noticed improving from your game last year to this year? Because you're only a sophomore now, so you've only been in the program for 2 years. What have you noticed as the biggest change in your game from year 1 to year 2?
I think definitely last year I was kind of a quiet person and didn't really talk as much as I may have needed to, but this year I think that I really have stepped up and taking the experience that I had last year and just carrying it over to being more vocal as a player.
Brooklyn DeLeye is our guest, our Wendy's Female Athlete of the Week, sophomore with Washburn Rural Volleyball. And that leadership role, I know for a lot of players, sometimes it's natural to be more vocal. Sometimes it does take some time to develop. Is that something that any of your teammates or any of your coaches talked to you about, or was that sort of a natural progression for you to become more vocal with time?
I think that I always had it inside of me, but I know that Coach Bordewick did talk to me at the beginning of the season that I did need to be more vocal since we are kind of a young team. And so just to take that role and just be more vocal, yeah.
Last year, you put up over 500 kills for the season, which is a gaudy number, to be sure, some of the highest numbers in the entire state. And this year, again, I can't repeat it enough, the stats are phenomenal again. How would you assess your game? Give us a little bit of a scouting report. What is Brooklyn DeLeye the best at once you get on the court?
I say that just being able to see the court and knowing where holes are and putting the ball where the other team isn't is probably one of my biggest strengths, because also from the back row, I know my teammates are talking to me where to hit, where to go, what's open, and just being able to take that and hopefully turning that into a kill.
Your head coach, you just mentioned him a moment ago, Kevin Bordewick. Now, you two have an interesting and somewhat unique relationship in that he's your coach for volleyball in the fall, but then again for basketball in the winter sports season. How has your relationship with him developed in just now your second year working with him? What's it like to be with the same head coach for back-to-back seasons and to spend that much time with him?
Yeah, definitely. I do. From last year to this year, I do know more of like what he expects out of a player and person, and just what he expects at practice and in games. And just knowing that has really helped me develop who I am and how I play the game.
Brooklyn DeLeye is our guest, our Wendy's Female Athlete of the Week, a sophomore from Washburn Rural Volleyball. Now, we got your personal scouting report, but what are some of the things you're looking forward to the rest of this season and maybe even the rest of your volleyball career? Where are some areas where you're looking to continue greatness in your game or maybe develop a little bit more as your career goes on?
Yeah, I definitely would like to better my game as far as getting stronger and mentally tougher, because I know that if I want to keep playing and at the level I want to play at, that will have to be improved and just working at every aspect of the game.
We mentioned that you are not just a standout volleyball player, you play basketball and you are very good at it as well, an all-league pick again last season. That's a very busy schedule for you now. Have you given any consideration, and again, just in your sophomore year now, to what your future might look like beyond Washburn Rural? Is volleyball your favorite sport? Is it basketball? Are you going to try to play both for as long as possible?
I know throughout high school I'm going to try to play both as much as possible, because also in the spring I do play soccer, so that also carries on to my workload. But Volleyball is definitely my favorite sport, and it has been since I was 9 years old. So I definitely would like to maybe further that into college or maybe beyond that.
Have you made any consideration so far or looked into any programs? And I know it's a long way down the road. Sophomore year of college feels like a long way away, but have you thought of any programs locally, nationally that you'd be interested in once you get to that point?
I definitely have been looking at some, but I just don't know if I want to stay local or maybe be open to traveling somewhere like far off or like in the state, obviously, but or in the country. But I just don't know because there's a lot of good programs out there, and I definitely would like to play at one of the top levels.
Well, wherever her career takes her, Brooklyn DeLeye is off to a phenomenal start. Just a sophomore this year for Washburn Rural volleyball, and she is playing at an all-state caliber once again, and she is our Wendy's Female Athlete of the Week. Brooklyn, thank you so much for the time, and good luck the rest of the way this season.
Thank you. Have a good day.